And the great period of peace came to an end. Goku and the Z Warriors will have new limits to overcome. The universe is no longer the same. Goku will have to overcome his limits. And in the great game the gods created, mortals are but pawns. It seems the gods want to play again. The most incredible battle of all time is about to begin.
I better get them out of here so they don't destroy everything.
Do you really think you can challenge a god?
This time will be different. We won't be just entertainment for them. Now I'm the one who makes the rules. It's gonna be awesome.
Makai Realm, Haveling Prison. Duplicate, who had grabbed Vegeta from behind, takes him to the Makai Kingdom, a place where several gods or powerful beings are imprisoned who have their energies drained. Vegeta is unconscious, with his feet and hand tied by chains, being dragged through corridors, which seems to be endless. Vegeta is conscious but not completely, because in some moments he managed to open his eyes and wake up for a few seconds, but then he faints again. He's taken to a cell where he is trapped, unable to move or speak, let alone free himself. Still, in the big fortress, Goku was shaken by what happened. Goku walks from one side to the other, looks around, and with his eyes full of concern, Goku feels completely frustrated. Goku looks at his trembling hands and says,
I can't believe this happened. Why did it have to stay like this? First they took Mr. Beerus and now they've taken Vegeta. It's my fault. I was weak.
Goku finishes saying this by punching the wall, which completely crumbles. Goku stops to observe everything around him, then closes his eyes, takes a deep breath. Goku then says,
I already know. I just need to feel Vegeta's ki, and I'll find him.
Goku touches his forehead with his fingertips and starts to concentrate at this moment. He feels Vegeta's energy and says,
Found it! It's pretty weak, but he's still alive. Now I can go with him with teleportation.
Goku then uses his technique called teleportation, and he appears in front of a gigantic gate. Goku looks around and doesn't see anyone, and there he speaks.
That's weird. Vegeta isn't here, and I'm pretty sure his ki was coming from that direction. I'll try again.
Goku concentrates again, and once again he feels Vegeta's ki, and when he goes to teleport in him, an enemy simply appears in front of him, touching his right shoulder.
Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Let's go back to the point. Goku is startled and takes 2 steps back, and his enemy says,
Hello, intruder. Everyone calls me Teleport, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Goku, with a scared look, looks at the villain and says,
Teleport? How? He appeared out of nowhere, so he can teleport too.
That being looks at Goku and says, Now, where are my manners? Welcome to the Makai Kingdom. This is the grand entrance to the palace. But to enter, first, you have to defeat me, because I'm the gate guard. Goku is surprised, and he says,
I finally arrived. I'm sure Beerus-sama and Vegeta will be inside.
Goku looks at the teleport and says,
So to enter, I need to defeat you, right? Alright, let's go.
Goku strikes his combat pose and prepares to start fighting. Meanwhile, on Earth, future Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, and Bulma face numerous enemies, but the device that allows Bulma to transform into a Super Saiyan was still not charged. He would need to stay out of the battle for a while. But the warriors were doing the job until Piccolo gives a warning. Everyone looks at a villain who was just watching, and Piccolo could sense that this was no ordinary enemy. After Piccolo, Gohan, and Trunks defeat countless enemies that Bean approaches, he comes closer, clapping his hands slowly and smiling. And at that moment he says, Congratulations! You're very, very cute. They managed to defeat several demons quickly, and I'm really impressed. I ended up getting excited to see you guys fighting, and I felt like fighting too.
Gohan looks at Piccolo, then at Trunks, and says, Guys, I'll go first. If I defeat him, maybe you won't even have to fight.
Trunks then says,
But it's not fair. He seems to be strong. I also want to fight him.
Piccolo says, You don't have to worry. I'll finish him off so you don't get in the way.
The three warriors are there arguing to decide who will fight, and the villain gets serious at that moment and screams,
Imbeciles! How dare you disrespect me like that? Assign as soon as you can, or come the three. I'm going to exterminate you anyway.
Gohan says, I already know. Let's take a Jakin Po. So whoever wins, go first. Piccolo is embarrassed and says,
That is a child thing.
Gohan responds, it's the right thing to do, so whoever fights him will be chosen by luck. Piccolo agrees and the three begin counting.
1, 2, 3, Jakin Po!
Piccolo makes scissors, Gohan also makes scissors, but Trunks makes stones, thus being the winner. Gohan looks serious at Trunks and says, Trunks, be careful, he can be dangerous. At that moment, Trunks nods, just agreeing with Gohan. He turns and walks towards the villain. The enemy looks at Trunks and smiles and then starts to say, so you'll be my opponent. Very well, my name is Sonata, also known as the Great Lord of Silence. After my enemies face me, they will never hear another sound again. Trunks smiles and says, stop being an idiot and let's get started already. Sonata was an amazing warrior with very peculiar skills. He could manipulate sounds, causing his opponent's eardrums to explode. But during his battles, he spoke singing. For so the sound waves he released had reverberated around him, thus increasing his powers. Back to Makai Kingdom. Goku was in front of Teleport. The enemy will just spawn and then decides to attack. Goku charges towards him with his fists clenched, ready to land a punch. And suddenly the enemy uses a type of teleportation, disappearing and reappearing behind Goku, hitting him. Goku falls to the ground with his face dragging over the ground and a handful of sand enters his mouth. Goku gets up, spitting out the sand he ate and saying, oh God, that's so gross. You surprised me now. Man, you're amazing, know how to use this technique, but it's not the only one. Goku prepares to teleport. But Teleport appears in front of him again and touches Goku, thus annulling his technique. And then lands a kick on the head of Goku, making him fall again. Teleport then starts saying, it's not just that, my dear. Not only can I teleport, but I can also nullify the technique of someone who has this ability. Although this part is a little useless after all, hardly anyone appears who knows how to use it. Goku stands up and sweat starts pouring down his face. Goku with a serious look says, damn it, how am I supposed to defeat someone I can't touch? And that I can still nullify my teleportation? Damn, this guy's really dangerous. Goku tries to attack again, but Teleport starts changing places quickly, and then it starts to say, intruders like you also knows how to use Teleport. I'll show you something interesting. He begins to teleport quickly from one side to the other, and thanks to the speed of his teleportation, several clones of him appears in front of Goku. His power is incredible, and the mastery of the technique is simply unimaginable. And then all the clones start talking at once. Intruder, you really are an incredible person for knowing how to use teleportation. But even if you trained for thousands of years, your technique will never be like mine. Goku then takes a deep breath and watches his enemy, and in a split second, Goku starts to smile and says, all good. I don't need to overcome your teleportation. I just need to be faster than you. Goku then transforms into a Super Saiyan God, having his hair red, increasing his speed to an impressive level. And since he now has Divine Ki, his enemy can't keep up. And then Goku starts moving quickly towards Teleport. Teleport makes a circle towards Goku, and Goku begins to launch several attacks, apparently hitting his enemy. However, Teleport, he kept using his technique faster, thus avoiding being hit in fact. Goku realizes that he couldn't overcome his enemy's technique, so Goku calms down, closes his eyes, crosses his arm, and waits. At this point, Teleport starts saying, you have given up, tired of playing this game. So come on, come upstairs. Goku remains silent and still. Teleport comes back and say, if you don't come, I will kill you. Goku remains silent. Teleport starts to get extremely furious, and he goes after Goku, thus making his first mistake, and it could be his last. He teleports to stand in front of Goku, then throws a punch. When his fist touches Goku's body, immediately Goku grabs his opponent's hand and says, ha! Got you! and now you cannot escape.
Goku at this very moment is in front of the main gate of the definite entrance to the Makai Kingdom. Goku is currently facing an extremely powerful opponent who has the incredible ability to teleport. Goku loses the advantage of using teleportation because his enemy is superior using this trump card. The fight was uncertain until that. Goku grabs his opponent's hand and prepares to punch him in the face. For a moment, it seems that the game has turned because Goku had his enemy right there in front of him. However, when Goku unleashes his teleport attack, he holds it with his other hand and hits Goku with a headbutt, making him dizzy for a moment. But Goku recovers quickly and teleport lands a knee on his stomach, catching him off guard, causing Goku to feel the impact strongly. Teleport then says, "You are so dumb. You really believed that my only ability was the power to teleport. Idiot. I can do much more than that. I am the #1 among the Makai Realm's great demon generals, after all." Goku smiles and says this instant, "Haha, I thought it was just a doorman here." Teleport is extremely furious with Goku's joke and kicks him, causing Goku to hit the Makai entrance wall, then grabs Goku by the neck and lifts him up and saying over and over again, "I am #1, I am #1." It lands a punch to Goku's stomach and repeated this countless times. "I am #1, I am #1, I am #1." Hundreds of punches later, Goku is nearly knocked unconscious until the demon says, "After I kill you, I will go to your planet and destroy everything, leaving only your family alive. But then they will be my slaves, and whenever I feel like it, I rip a piece out of them, a finger, an arm, or a neck, until there's nothing left." After saying it, it lands another punch. However, Goku's fury surges again, and before being hit, Goku holds his teleport hand. Goku then bans his enemy's fist while crushing his hand, using his strength. The enemy drops to his knees and feels trapped. Goku, with an extremely serious face, says, "You're nothing, you're nobody, and you never dare say you hurt my family again." While holding his opponent's fists, Goku concentrates his ki and reaches his ultimate form, Goku God Killer. Goku, with a sadistic smile on his face, holds Teleport's head and drags him against the wall after starting to give numerous knees in his face, making the blood flow. We can see several teeth of the enemy being pulled out. Teleport starts to get worried because he hadn't seen such ferocity in a single being. After the threat that Teleport made, Goku had transformed into a Super Saiyan God. So Goku says, "You worm, I tend to have a compassion on my enemies, but you deserve death." Goku, with an intense rage and with a look of hatred, he catches his opponent, and when he's about to deliver the final blow, Teleport simply disappears, leaving Goku standing there. Goku then reverts on his base form and remembers that he needs to find Vegeta. Then he uses his teleport, which works normally, and at that time he goes after his friend. Goku tries to feel Vegeta's ki, but he can't find him. Goku concentrates and takes a deep breath until he feels a faint presence. Then he says, "It's certainly here. Hold on, Vegeta. I'm coming." After that, Goku teleports and arrives at a cell. At that moment, Goku sees his friends bound by chains and having his energy drained. At that time, Goku says, "Vegeta, you're fine." Vegeta responds, "What are you doing here, Kakarot? You're supposed to be looking for Beerus. I came to help you." Then Vegeta says, "And who said I need your help? You weren't supposed to be here, Kakarot, you idiot. What are you thinking, you imbecile? I was already getting out of here on my own." So even against Vegeta's will, Goku helps him by shooting a blast of ki, breaking the chain, and he finally manages to break free. Goku looks seriously at Vegeta and says, "Now, let's find Beerus." Vegeta says, "I'm sure I heard his voice, but that has been going on for a long time now, and since then I haven't heard anything." Goku responds, "So he's right here. We need to hurry." We return to the planet of destruction and we see Whis walking along a long corridor. Inside the great palace of Beerus, at the end of the corridor, there's a door that was locked. Whis, with slow steps, approaches. When his hands touches the doorknob and when he turns, the door opens. A small crack of light enters the place, and we can see an unknown silhouette form in the shadows. And from the middle of the darkness, red eyes appear. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, we can hear a song. "Don't forget a dark hole, you'll get punched. Don't forget that lesson, or you have a face in the dirt." At this moment, the villain holds Trunks by the hair, dragging his face on the ground, destroying some rocks. Gohan and Piccolo says, "Trunks!"
Bulma looks on in amazement as she sees her son being humiliated. Sonata continues to sing with a slower, higher melody. See in the eyes of your friends the suffering I will cause. You thought I was a match for you, and in the end, I will humiliate you. Gohan and Piccolo think about interfering the fight, and Gohan says, Trunks, I'm coming! Trunks raises his hand and yells, No, sir, Gohan! This is my fight! Do not interfere! Gohan clenches his fists and starts to get furious, but does nothing. Sonata again changes the melody of her song, and with a deep voice on a heavy beat, he starts to sing a Rocky song. Don't be a sucker or proud! Don't stay at rock bottom! You without your friends! You're not a match for me! Get up soon, this is your end! Trunks gets up slowly with his legs wobbly. The Sonata music makes him weaker and weaker and increases his opponent's power more and more. Yet Trunks, being a proud warrior of his father, continues to joke and says, Dude, don't be ridiculous. Your music is so dumb. The only thing worse than that is having to look at your ugly face when you're singing. Sonata is furious and responds, So you don't like this rhythm, huh? Then tell me, what do you think about opera? At that moment, the Sonata takes a deep breath and begins to sing her beautiful opera. I told you that you weren't able to keep up with the attacks from someone so insightful. Before we continue, I am so sorry about my singing voice. My voice is a bit tired, but I'm gonna sing anyway. Opera, let's go. Sonata then raises her voice and starts to move as if she were really in an opera show. Some illusions appear around her, and Trunks looks impressed and says, The vocalist wasn't enough, now there's a whole band. And seriously, even the drama has the right to do so. Around the Sonata, numerous musicians with appearance similar to him appears, with violinos, pianos, percussions, and various musical instruments. Sonata raises his voice and sounds incredibly high-pitched as he sings, Oh, no, you will die. The sound of the violin begins to echo alongside with the rhythm of her singing voice. Get ready for my last attack. Don't feel so fragile, not so guilty. For from the beginning you were already defeated. Trunks then, with his whole body shaking, slowly gets up and says, That's enough! Trunks then starts to raise his ki and screams, I'm tired of this stupid song! Sonata boosts her voice. Piccolo, Gohan, and Bulma watches the amount of power Trunks is gathering. Trunks performs a series of arm movements before placing his hands forward, with the thumbs and forefingers touching the form of a diamond shape. He then fires an energy sphere from his palms towards the opponent. The gigantic wave of power hits the orchestra that was in front of them, defeating them. Sonata slowly falls and Trunks flies towards him. Sonata then says to Trunks while singing, From what I see, this will be my last melody. My body fills and overflows with emotion. 'Cause this is the end. This is my last song. Trunks, as a sign of respect, begins to sing. You fought well, and a great champion, and a formidable warrior. It's not the end of your song. Every note and tune will forever be in my heart. Gohan and Piccolo, who are approaching, slowly watch, and Piccolo says, Congratulations, Trunks, you beat him. He's gone. But is it just me, or were you singing to him? No. I was just, never mind. Let's get out of here. There are other enemies for us to face. Gohan and the others travel to the globe, defeating all enemies, thus freeing the planet from its torment. Everything is moving towards peace. The great Shadow Sovereign Makaiashins are completely enraged to see that not even a large horde of their biggest and most powerful demons would be a match for Piccolo, Gohan, and the other Z-warriors who protected the Earth with all the force. In the meeting room of the Makai Kingdom, the great demon Zetaphades catches everyone's attention, and he says, Friends, they are incredible, powerful people, and the key to the underworld is lost forever. We will never be able to obtain it again. Canute laughs.
How pathetic you are! We're not just Makaiashins, we're the most powerful beings that have ever been created! We can have anything we want, and no one will stand in our way! But look at you, giving up like that, waiting to hide like a mouse, afraid of some children. Pathetic, pathetic, simply pathetic!
Everyone watches and gets extremely irritated. A few seconds pass and Canute makes up his mind, and he claims,
"It's decided. This time, I, myself, will go in search of the key to the underworld."
Everyone looks extremely surprised. He pushes his chair back slowly, and with a slight smile on his face, he says,
"Don't forget, take care of those two Saiyans. Leave the earth to me."
At this moment, he starts walking and leaves the room, leaving everyone else stunned and perplexed except Bobo. A Makaiashin with a peculiar appearance, he had numerous similarities with Majin Buu. Knowledge, he also stands up and says, "The rest of the problem is up to me. All of you, get ready, leave the cube so that we can get to that place." They all look extremely curious. One of them says, "Are you sure we should take them there?" Bobo says, "This is obvious and our alternative. So far they've only brought us problems. How about we make this problem a diversion?" Everyone agrees and Bobo goes after Goku and Vegeta. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Makai realm, Goku and Vegeta are still near those strange cells trying to find traces of Beerus, when suddenly, the grade 3 generals of the war appear inside a huge corridor in front of the Saiyans. The three warriors Makai Kingdoms, Duplicate, Chameleon, and Teleport. They appear at the same time in front of Goku and Vegeta. Chameleon says, "How long has it been, insects?" Duplicate continues, "I missed you already." And Teleports ends saying, "Finally, we can finish you off, here and now." At this moment, Goku and Vegeta already raises their ki to the maximum. Vegeta uses his new transformation and Goku turns into a god killer. The powers of the two is absurd, but it is no more absurd than the hatred they were feeling towards those beings. However, demons don't back down. Until in a few seconds through the corridor, a gigantic goo with a dark blue color takes over everything and approaches quickly, heading towards the demons. At this moment, it is possible to hear an incredible frightening voice. We see Bobo approaching at surprising speed as she exclaims, "You pieces of shit! You already had your chance! But let them go! They were humiliated! You good for nothings! Now you will have just one more opportunity, although they will be trapped inside me." The goo surrounds the three demons and completely covers them. They then disappear, and all that was left was a big goo floating around, moving from side to side. Vegeta looks at Goku, and Goku says, "And that is... oh no, it can't be." Bobo absorbs the three warriors and begins to transform. His power increases in an incredible, absurd way. He becomes bigger, stronger, faster, and with the skills he had absorbed, merged with his own. This was no ordinary enemy. This wasn't just a demon. It was some kind of completely different entity. With a gigantic blast of energy, he hits the Saiyans who are thrown away, all around and caught by a gigantic explosion. And when the flash dissipates, we see the three there. Goku and Vegeta on their knees, already in their base forms, and the big villain in front of them. The three are stopped amidst the rubble. The monster, with a smile on his face, just laughs. What happened? Weren't you incredibly powerful? What are you going to do now without your powers? Meanwhile, on Earth, the Z warriors are gathered, exhausted after defeating the demon hordes. They're happy, but worried. Gohan says, "Is it really over?" Piccolo answers, "Probably not, but no matter what, we're prepared." At this moment, the sky begins to darken. Lightning appears to fall. Strong winds make the trees sway from side to side. The Z warriors begin to stare at the sky, when they suddenly notice the presence of an incredibly powerful being. Canute is flowing there, in front of the warriors, with a smile. And at that time, he says, "I'm Canute.
a great Makaioshin from the Makai realm.
Gohan then says, "His ki is huge!" Krillin watches in amazement. All Z warriors are extremely scared. All that power made no sense. Piccolo said,
"It's not possible. We won't be able to stop him. We cannot win this battle."
At that moment, all seems to be lost. The evil demon says slowly, "Where is the key?" Everyone is unresponsive. And with an ultimatum, he says,
"Good. Since you won't tell me, I will destroy everything."
The evil one extends his hands, pointing at the Z warriors, and he starts charging a massive evil orb of energy. And he says,
"Make this entire solar system disappear!"
But seconds before firing, a familiar voice appears very low, saying, "Don't worry guys, I'm back." It was Whis that made an energy shield that protects them. Whis then says, "I brought help." And when Z fighters look up, they see the demon's attack had been stopped. We see a huge being full of muscles holding the monster's arm, a being similar in appearance to Beerus. And this great being says,
"Hey Whis, is that the face that took my son?"
Whis responds, "More or less. We could say it was someone close to him." Everyone doesn't understand anything. However, Whis says, yes, that's Mr. Beerus' father. A great and powerful cat of destruction." Everyone is surprised. Everyone is impressed. The father of Beerus, holding his opponent's wrist, stretches out his palm of his other hand and says,
"Okay."
An intense energy simply eliminates the villain. Everyone watches. Gohan says, "But that technique is only specific to a god of destruction." And Whis responds, "No, in fact, he is a cat of destruction. The great Beerus is dependent on him. And all destruction cats have this ability. In a very powerful species, however, few are capable of actually becoming gods of destruction." Everyone is amazed because they realize that they're an absurd, incredible species just like the great Beerus, and some are more powerful than him. Whis then continues explaining, "Now the Earth will be in peace for a while. I brought him here to help protect this planet until Goku and Vegeta return. He will also help you train, so not a demon will dare to come back here." Meanwhile, in the Makai Kingdom, Goku and Vegeta, still on their knees, look at that monstrosity in front of them. And the great demon says, "You are really very powerful, but with this attack I launched against you, you will no longer be able to use ki attacks. I blocked this skill. You can even raise your powers and get stronger, still being amazing in battles. However, you can no longer attack with ki energy or fire those monster attacks. The only thing you have left is your useless melee skills." Vegeta and Goku doesn't understand anything and feel weak. The great enemy goes on to say, "So far you have only caused a lot of problems, so we decided to take you to an amazing place where you will discover what true suffering is. You will no longer able to escape this place, and not even the great of the powerful Zeno-sama would be able to escape." Goku and Vegeta are confused. The villain surrounds them with his ki. After that, he says, "Now I condemn you to suffer for eternity. You will be taken away and imprisoned forever. Now, you and the big Beerus, they will be taken to a great heavenly prison. And the beginning of your end, it starts here." Bobo had captured Goku and Vegeta. At that moment, the Saiyans are trapped by several chains, and even if they try to resist, they are being taken to the Great Celestial Prison. Goku and Vegeta can't shoot any kind of energy or ki blast, and even though they are extremely powerful, at the moment they only have hand-to-hand fighting skills. Vegeta is extremely furious, but even his mouth is stuck, so the two just listen to the orders and follow. In a large facility close to the battle site they had just had, and located one of the entrances to the Celestial Prison, Heavenly Prison. This Heavenly Prison houses countless prisoners, among them good beings and evil beings of all possible species. It is a prison and a grand fortress that was created by the gods of the past. Zeno-sama's father, seeing that there were uncontrollable beings, decided to gather the most powerful beings in the entire universe so that they would obtain the power to create the supreme prison, which not even a deity or even the all-powerful Zeno-sama would be able to escape or even to destroy it.
This special place is unique and exists in absolutely every universe, being a gigantic fortress installation which have entrances that overcome the barriers of time and space, making it exist in all universes at the same time. The only prison, the only place that could house beings or deities that no one could ever control. Goku and Vegeta and Beerus were being taken to this place. In a temporal cube, layers leave only the passages of the multiverses and arrives at the real entrance of this prison. Vegeta and Goku were extremely furious, but they couldn't do anything, neither say anything. Beerus was still unconscious and was being taken to the meeting point where he would join Goku and Vegeta for the three to be sent to this prison. Meanwhile, on Earth, everyone is still curious to know more about the species of the father of Beerus. After all, it is an extremely powerful race. Gohan and Trunks asks Whis,
Mr. Whis, where did you find that guy? Where did he come from? He looks like Beerus, but he's much bigger.
Whis then decides to tell a little bit of Beerus' story.
Thousands of years ago, Zeno revealed to us that there was a world composed of incredibly powerful beings, evolved beings and peaceful. However, one day, this race was brought to near extinction. Few were saved by their leader. The great sovereign of this planet gave his all so that his people would not perish. This being was one of Beerus' descendants. During the incident, the life of the entire universe was in danger, and by sacrificing himself, this great warrior managed to save not only his world, but also all universes. And as a reward, the great Zeno-sama granted a wish to the people of this world. And then, another one of Beerus' descendants came up with the idea. When any deity needed to be replaced, it would have to be someone from the breed of warrior cats, and so it was done. A few years later, the gods of destruction of the universe needed to be replaced, and so Zeno-sama gave this great honor to a cat of destruction, who was one of the ancestors of Beerus. Since then, God's power of destruction has been passed down from generation to generations, and the people of that world that was lost began to see a light of hope. With each generation, a new god of destruction was chosen. But one day, the great ruler of this world had two sons, twins. These children were selected to receive the gift of gods of destruction, but each one should take care of a universe. These children's names were Beerus and Champa, and so their predecessors succeeded and became the deities known today.
Everyone is amazed thinking about what they just heard. However, Whis continues to say,
I brought Beerus' father here so that he could keep the Earth and this universe safe. That is, until everything is resolved. Because, well, the world of destruction cats is no more. Now the people of Beerus' lineage live in a parallel world whose portal is on the planet of destruction. It's been a long time since we released another cat of destruction into this world. But this time, I had no choice.
Everyone watches and listens to the story. Meanwhile, on the Makai Kingdom, Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus are escorted to the heavenly prison. The path is cold and long. An atmosphere of tension hangs in the air. But they are almost there. They cannot move or speak, and even their expressions are being monitored. The grand entrance approaches, and everyone is taken out of the cube, and looking around, they can see countless pipes passing through the entire installation. That was really strange, that amount of pipes, which surrounded the entire installation, were used to transport all the energy that was drained of everyone trapped there. This energy was taken to the center of each existing universe and was responsible for supplying the heart of each one of them, thus making each universe continue to live. Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus are taken to a large room where the three are left completely without clothes, and a strange colored liquid is thrown onto them to clean themselves of any impurity from the outside world. After that, they are taken through gigantic corridors to a place where they receive their prison uniforms. At this point, Beerus seems to have no more motivation to speak, and his movements are slow. He recognizes Goku and Vegeta, however. He doesn't say anything to them, just remains in constant silence the entire time. They wear their new clothes, and Goku looks around, and he can see countless guardians surrounding the three. After that, each one is taken to a cell. The cell was a large, empty white room with a gigantic window, made of something indestructible with a glass aspect and thus being transparent. Goku tries to sense the other prisoner's key, but fails. He tries to use teleportation, but his powers don't work. Everything seems to be lost. There was no hope. A few hours passed since they were trapped in the containment cells. All cells have the same space, and over time, they weakened their prisoners. Goku was really powerless. At that moment, an incredible place where he couldn't escape through. A low voice murmurs, "Hey stranger, who are you, rookies?" Goku approaches the wall, and as he places his hand on the table, he hears it again.
Nice to meet you. I'm the wolf. I saw you and your friends arrive.
Goku responds, "Hi, I'm Goku."
Hey, can you tell me how do I get out of here?
Leaving here is impossible, friend. Several have tried, but in the end ended up failing. It is not possible to leave this place unless you fight. Goku's eyes change. A glow is seen on his face and a smile is seen at the corner of his mouth. Goku says,
To fight? Who should I fight then?
Wolf says, "Oh, so you like fighting? And in that case, there's only one way out of here. Every 10 years, this place starts preparing for an event. This event where countless prisoners fight. They face each other with the objective of gaining freedom. Here in this prison are the most powerful warriors in the entire multiverse, including some gods from the past or rogue demons." Goku is impressed and says,
That's incredible. There must be really powerful beings here then.
Goku starts to feel excited and Wolf continues to say, "Yeah, really? You're the most absurd beings, and the unimaginable power of each one, whew, I don't know how so many were defeated and brought here. It's impressive." Goku says,
Is this event like a big martial arts event?
"More or less. The prize is freedom, though. But until today, I heard about only one warrior who managed to win."
Goku starts to warm up by jumping from side to side and says, So this place is really amazing. I can't wait to start fighting.
"You crazy, aren't you? Well, let's see how strong you really are then."
Goku says, Do you know where my friends were taken?
"They're probably in holding cell next to ours, going through the same things."
Meanwhile, Beerus is sitting on the floor of his cell with his legs crossed.
We see his eyes open slowly, and Beerus exclaims, "It's finally starting."
Beerus is in a containment cell in the Great Celestial Prison, but he doesn't seem to be worried. His face is serious and his eyes look unimpressed. Could he have expected one day to end up here? Vegeta is restless in his cell, pacing back and forth, pounding the walls, and screams,
"How dare you! How dare you leave me here, the great Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, in such a useless place! Damn it, damn it, damn it!"
Vegeta is panting and his strength seems to be slowly diminishing. However, he cannot accept that he is now in prison. Vegeta continues pummeling the walls until he's dropped to his knees. He looks down at his hands and sees that they're shaking. Shall we? When suddenly on the opposite side to the one he was on, a door is created, appearing in his cell. Some beings enter the place, beings covered in strange armor and energy shields. At this point, they begin to approach. Vegeta smiles and says,
"Finally, someone showed up."
With trembling legs, Vegeta gets up little by little, but he can barely stand up. He asks in disbelief,
"What the hell is happening? My body is not moving. What's going on here?"
One of the guards goes towards them and says,
"Containment number 234. Do not move."
Vegeta mutters,
"Don't talk to me like that, you bastard."
And he tries to go for the guard. That with an energy stick hits the Saiyan, making him fall to the ground. The other two guards who are there approach, holding each one of his arms while connecting a device to his wrists. The guard says, "Release containment." And a sound emitted and the guards let go of his arms. However, gigantic handcuffs made of some kind of unknown technology are formed. They pulled against each other, causing Vegeta's arm to become trapped behind his back. Vegeta stands up with his hands behind him, getting to his knees as his guards stand in front of him. The guard bends down, looking deep into Vegeta's arms and says, "I want to see you keep punching the walls now, you bug." The guards leave the cell and the door disappears. Vegeta is furious. The veins on his forehead are studied. The Saiyan uses as much strength as he possibly can. He is trying to get rid of the handcuffs, but it seems to be impossible. Vegeta falls to the side with his arms trapped and cannot free himself. Meanwhile, Beerus is calm, just watching everything around him. Beerus starts to think,
"Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in this place, but it seems like I'm the prisoner this time."
Goku continues talking to Wolf, who explains everything to him about how things work there. But at that moment, a door opens inside his cell and Goku needs to leave. everyone goes to a huge room which would be the cafeteria. Countless prisoners gather there. However, a good part is held in a handcuff similar to the one that Vegeta had been held on, and are accompanied by guards who take them trapped in a kind of containment capsule. Wolf explains to Goku that those are prisoners who don't accept being trapped there, so this way they can be controlled. Goku laughs and says, I hope Vegeta doesn't get aggressive, or he's not going to end up winning all of these. Knowing his temperament, this will probably happen. Looking to the sides, Goku sees Vegeta trapped in the containment pod. Goku is embarrassed because he had just talked about it. Goku approaches Vegeta. At this time, prisoners can interact with each other. This is one of the only moments that interaction is allowed. And this way, they can change their routine a little and have some time so they don't end up going crazy. Upon getting close to Vegeta, Goku says, Hey Vegeta, are you alright? We have to find a way to get out of this place. In the meantime, stay calm so we can think of something. Goku looks around and is in for an unexpected surprise. Goku manages to see Beerus, who apparently was already getting used to it. Beerus has a flag in his hand. With a strange Goroba, Beerus approaches a table and sits down. Goku raises his hand and yells, Mr. Beerus! Mr. Beerus! I found you! Beerus is embarrassed. Everyone looks at them. And Goku approaches. Wow, that's a nasty food, isn't it? If we intend to remain strong, we cannot go without food, even if that food sucks. Yeah, you're right. At this moment, the two starts to eat, the three start talking. Goku talks about the prison tournament, and Beerus says that he already knew about such an event. Goku asks, But that's it, Lord Beerus. Are you going to participate? Beerus places his hand on Goku's shoulder and says, Unfortunately, there is no other way out of this place. Then I will participate. It's just a pity for you, because you will never defeat me. Goku smiles and sarcastically responds, That's what we'll see. Time passes and everyone returns to their cells. Goku then decides to train a little. After all, it was his only chance to get out of there. Goku starts throwing punches and kicks in the air to improve his physical abilities. Wolf, who was also a great warrior, upon hearing the sound of Goku's training, decides to accompany him. With every move of Goku, Wolf was still mirroring him. They were training their physical skills as the fighting in this prison would be hand-to-hand, and so they remained training for hours. And several days pass. At this point, Vegeta has already calmed down. Goku has already talked to him and he's already aware of the tournament. Vegeta is in his cell, but now he's free of his shackles because he had decided to get stronger and participate in the event so that he could get out of there as soon as possible. In another corner of the arena, we see Hades, an ancient deity from another universe who, due to his virtually limitless power, was prized there. This was also his chance to leave. Hades was a god who didn't care about mortals' cruel ambitions and dreamed of becoming the supreme deity. But now he was just another prisoner in the heavenly prison, where his decisions were all controlled. Some time passes inside Goku's room on a panel attached to the wall. A message appears written in the Great Celestial Prison Tournament will start soon. In a few days, everyone be prepared for the selection. All the fights will be decided through a selection that would happen to divide who would be the warriors to participate in the event. Goku was excited, and at that very moment, he runs towards the wall, saying, Wolf, Wolf, it's about to begin. I can't contain my excitement. Soon, the great tournament of the Celestial Prison will begin! Wolf then responds, Don't get too excited. Before we are selected, we will have to be chosen. And in this case, it could be that we're enemies. And obviously, I won't let you beat me. Goku clenches his fists and say, Come with everything against me, because I won't hold back. At this moment, we can see a little of the story of Wolf in the past. He was a very skilled warrior. A great warrior who fought to become stronger among everything. He had gone through difficult times in his life. He had to leave his family and friends behind, and he stopped believing in everything he believed in so that he could only believe in his strength. Wolf began to follow the great deity of his universe and fight his battles in order to achieve his ambition. But at a certain point, Wolf was betrayed, and a long time later he was judged in this prison, the Celestial Prison. So his story continues until the days of today. The great tournament in the Celestial Prison was similar to the tournament on Earth, where each warrior would face each other. So his world would be eliminated, advancing to the next stage, and each day that passes, this tournament got closer and closer.
At this very moment, we learn that there will be numerous prisoners participating. Some ancient deities, some unknown beings, extremely powerful warriors. It is an event in which all universe exists. A large audience, some judges, hundreds of thousands of guards around a large arena where every warrior fights. One against one. All types of skills are allowed except energy skills or any other weapon. There are only melee fights where the winner is really the strongest. No matter what happens to the warriors, if the warrior is not eliminated and dies inside the arena, was simply disqualified, thus losing the fight. This is the biggest tournament in the entire multiverse. Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Wolf. There will be a big challenge on their way. They could be enemies and face each other at some point, and from now on, the future is uncertain, and everything will start now. The great day of confrontation between all the prisoners of the Celestial Prison approaches. Beerus is meditating in his cell and doing simulated combats in his mind. This being a visualization technique so that he can train and reach his full potential. In his mind, his enemies are seen in the worst possible scenario with their minds level to maximum. Vegeta is doing push-ups and sit-ups so he can train his body to the maximum. We see the sweat pouring down his body and hear the same count. 6,894, 6,895, 6,896, 6,897. And the count goes on and on. Vegeta intends to maximize his powers by training his body to unimaginable limits. Meanwhile, Goku is just sitting in front of the screen with a message that the selection of participants will begin soon. Goku was so anxious that he couldn't train. He was extremely anxious as he watched. We could see his eyes twitching and his hands tense from the weight. At that moment, we can hear Wolf's voice saying, "Hey, Son Goku. You seem to be very excited. Son Goku!" Goku still doesn't respond a thing. Silence. At this moment, Wolf screams, "Hey, Son Goku! Are you there?" And Goku is startled to hear looking at the side of the wall. Goku is embarrassed, puts his hands behind his head and says, "Sorry man, I was waiting for this message to change. I was a little distracted." Wolf then responds, "Looks like you're pretty focused, isn't it, Son Goku?" I thought I would be looking forward to you in an amazing person. Goku starts laughing. Suddenly a beep is listened. Goku quickly looks at the panel and there was written, "Everyone go to the main room." At this moment, Goku starts to smile. He raises his fist and screams, "I finally get to meet them!" We're going to meet the strongest criminals of all universes. A door opens on the side of each cell and everyone makes their way through floating corridors to their appointed location. This time they are not being escorted by even a guard. We see a being called a Pisk looking around and doesn't even see a guard and thinks, "This is a great opportunity for me to get out of here." At this moment, Pisk jumps from his platform and before he could imagine, he is simply disintegrated. A few minutes later, we can see a large open space where countless prisoners are gathered. Above them, we see the warden of the prison, the one everyone knew as the Great Executioner with a microphone in front of him. He looks around. Hundreds of thousands of guards gather. They would be the audience. At this point, the Great Executioner then starts to say, "Oh, you multiversal scum, know damn well why you're here today. Because today, we will start the selection of the 24 warriors who will fight for freedom. Bring the strength meter! And all the prisoners, position yourselves! One next to the other so we can start as soon as possible." Everyone starts to form a huge line while some guards bring a gigantic machine with a huge panel attached to it. The prison warden jumps towards the ground and lands in front of the prisoners. Walking back and forth, he starts to explain. "Each of you will come closer. When you get in front of the machine, use all your strength in one punch. And the platform right there will define whether or not you will Each of you will get closer. When you get in front of the machine, be sure to use all your strength in one punch. And the machine meter will define whether or not you will be able to participate in the tournament. The criteria are as follows. As you can see, the strength level is rated from 1 to 10. To become a participant, the minimum of your punch must reach, and the number 9 who goes below that will not have the chance to participate.
Goku watched with a serious look. Wolf, who is at his side, asks,
So, does Goku still think it's going to be that easy?
Goku responds, I don't know. I didn't understand anything of what he just said. Wolf puts his hand in his face and mutters,
Dude, you're such an idiot. He said, just punch there. If you're strong enough, you will participate. If not, you won't.
Goku makes a fist and slams it against his other hand and says, Oh, now I understand. Wolf laughs.
You really are a figure, Goku.
Vegeta and Beerus are on the other side and are already starting to feel excited. Vegeta will fist and say in a low voice,
This is my chance to face you for real, Kakarot.
Beerus just smiles. Everyone is excited. The prison warden then says,
Let's start! One at a time! You approach and strike the machine. Deliver your best blow.
Suddenly, a gigantic being covered in muscles, with an extremely monstrous aura approaching. With each step of the monster, the ground starts to shake. The gigantic monster then says,
It's just right here, right?
With shaky legs, the director says,
Yes, and just throw your best punch.
The gigantic then puts his support foot back, raises his fist, take momentum, and deliver an incredibly powerful punch. An extremely loud sound is created when the blow hits the machine, stamped on the screen, and a few moments after the punch's number changed, being changed to number 3. Everyone is surprised. The punch had been extremely strong, but he only reached number 3, so the giant would not be prepared for the tournament. The great director said,
Take him to his cell, he won't participate.
At this moment, everyone is tense. No matter how easy the selection seemed, everyone noticed that it would be much more difficult than they imagined. Wolf looks on with a smile on his face. After that, several prisoners tried. However, after more than 40 candidates tried to show their strength, not one had managed to reach even 5 points. That way, we still didn't even have a classified prisoner to participate. At this moment, a presence takes over the place. A being slowly walks with a sadistic look on his face. That was Hatsu, an ancient god of destruction who, after neglecting his work, he had been deposed from his position, and by attacking his angel, he was sent to this prison. That was an ex-deus. That was the next god of destruction, a very powerful. Slowly approaches the machine, calmly prepares and just touches the tip of his index finger on the attack platform. The numbers go up, quickly locking on number 9. He had been approved. This would be the first prisoner to be ready for the tournament. Several prisoners around swallow dry. Some murmurs are heard, and some say, This is absurd. The level required to be in the tournament is simply unimaginable. The next prisoner approaches, and again, he doesn't even reach 5 points. And so many were striking and being eliminated. We only had one classified so far, until a few moments a mysterious being arrives with white hair, known as an Angel of Discord. Known by everyone there. After all, he was one of the angels that accompanied a god of destruction. But after rebelling, he eliminated his god of destruction and began to wander alone, destroying his universe almost completely. The angel approaches and strikes. The number advances quickly, reaching 9.2. We have one more approved. These studs are awesome, incredibly powerful beings. Wolf looks at Goku and says,
Do you still think you have a chance? If you want to fight in the tournament, you need to roll a higher number than you move. Otherwise, you won't even have the chance to fight against me.
Goku responds, Are you sure you can face me? Don't be so confident. Wolf answers,
I'm looking forward to it.
At this moment, it was Wolf's turn to be tested. He says to Goku,
See you soon in the room where those who got a spot will be.
Wolf approaches the machine, closes his eyes. He calmly brings his fist back and throws a punch. An extremely powerful punch that even managed to dislodge the machine. Some feelings from the place. The first participant to reach 10 points is immediately approved. Goku smiles and says, So he really is very strong. Very good. I'm next. Goku's turn to be tested finally arrives, and now we will see the outcome of this selection.
And it's time for Goku to be tested. Several amazing prisoners took the test, but most of the majority didn't even come close to qualifying. As simple as it seems, this is an extremely difficult test. Will Goku be able to pass the test to finally break free of the heavenly prison? The warriors who managed to break through were extremely powerful, but this time it's Goku's turn. The prison warden looks around and seeing that Goku is next, he calls out of him saying, "Hey, you with the spiky hair, it's your turn. If you want to give up, this is your chance. You seem to be just another weakling. You don't even have the right size for the warrior." Goku is excited and says, "Finally, it's my turn." It was already taking too long. He approaches slowly and faces the gigantic machine. He looks at the panel where he needs to strike and says, "There you go. I'll make it." Goku brings his supporting leg back and closes his fist, taking off momentum with all the muscles in his body and launches his attack. Upon reaching the panel, everyone watches the screen to see how many points he will score. The number starts to change. At this moment, we see the counter go from 7 to 8, and at that moment it freezes. Everyone looks at that scene. Some smiles as if they already expected that. Goku's eyes tremble, and a drop of sweat trickled down his face. At that time, all seemed to be lost. Goku hadn't reached the goal of scoring 9 points. Although, when the prison warden is about to call the next candidate, the number starts to change, slowly going from 8 to 9. At this moment, a look of relief takes over Goku's face, who sighs deeply and exclaims, "I got it! It was barely more than I got! For a moment I thought I was lost, and that I would stay here longer." The director then at the same time says, "Prisoner Goku was classified as qualified to participate in the championship. Prisoner, follow the others and wait on the side." Goku is happy and excited and heads towards the location the director ordered. Arriving there, he notices a room where qualified warriors will stay. And looking around, Goku finds his friend Wolf, who had been approved. Wolf has his hand raised, swinging from side to side, leaning against the wall. Apparently, Wolf was confident that Goku would succeed. Goku approaches with a smile on his face and Wolf says, "Oh look, didn't you really get it? I was waiting for you, Goku." Goku approaches. The two touch each other's fists as a sign of respect. Goku says, "As if I would leave the fun just for you." Wolf smiles and answers, "Ha ha, don't forget that maybe we have to fight each other. Is that okay with you? And in that case, I'll have to teach you a lesson. So get ready, Son Goku. I can't wait to face you." Goku continues to answer, "I can't wait for that to happen either." On the other side, the candidates keep trying and being eliminated one after the other. A lot of time passes until yet another fighter arrives in the waiting room. Goku starts to get anxious and thoughtful. And thinking aloud, Goku says, "I hope Mr. Beerus and Vegeta make it. That way we can plan our way out of here." And the minutes keep passing. Those minutes turn into an hour, and at that moment, Goku sees the shadow of someone approaching. Gradually, someone comes closer when suddenly Goku hears, "There you are, Kakarot." At that time, Goku is happy and says, "Whoa, Vegeta, you did it too!" Vegeta crosses his arms and sighs. It's obvious I got you, bug. It's like I pass up a chance to rip you off in public." Some time passes and we can see Beerus facing that giant machine. It comes to his turn. At this time, he concentrates and he lands a blow. It wasn't very difficult. The numbers show the result. Beerus took 9 points and becomes one more classified. In the room where the approved ones are waiting, Goku, Vegeta, and Wolf are next to each other with a serious look watching their opponents. When Goku sees Beerus approaching, Goku at this time says, "Mr. Beerus! Ha! Glad you made it." Beerus doesn't say anything, just looks away. Suddenly, Vegeta observes and says, "Mr. Beerus, it's been a while since I noticed something about you." Goku gets furious at this point and agrees with Vegeta and says, "I also noticed you look weird. There's something wrong going on." Vegeta continues to say, "It is so very strange. Are you going to tell us what's going on? Or are you going to keep keeping secrets?" Beerus looks at Vegeta with an annoying look and says, "Very good, I'll tell you. Since they want to know so much, it's time to tell you the truth. I'm here for one reason only. There's someone I need to destroy." Goku and Vegeta are confused and Wolf watches closely. Beerus continues to say, "A long time ago, there existed a species of incredible powerful beings. beings known as Cats of Destruction, and we received that name thanks to the great honor Zeno-sama gave us, of giving us a chance that we could become deities. But before that,
Beerus begins to remember and tells what he remembers. Right now we see a different place. Big mountains, lots of vegetation, plants, an amazing place that seemed like a paradise. In the distance we can notice two children with appearance similar to that of Beerus, playing, running, and smiling. The children followed one another happily as if nothing could go wrong. The two boys run towards a village filled with people who look the same. However, suddenly an evil figure appears in the sky. Someone incredibly powerful starts attacking the Cats of Destruction. This someone had overwhelming power and defeats all warriors in this world. And he starts to destroy everything he sees ahead. Houses are set on fire, several bodies are scattered on the ground. Those children were tied up with signs of torture all over their bodies. A real carnage. Villagers were killed. But the few who survived decided to fight. But it wasn't that easy. But after a long time, a great hero managed to face that enemy that threatened the entire multiverse with the overwhelming power he had. This great hero, he managed to evolve and had his power approaching that of a deity. And when Zeno-sama felt that energy, he granted the right to ask for something. And the hero asked to become a deity, and that all his descendants could have the chance to obtain his honor. Zeno-sama accepted the request, and that became the first cat god of destruction. But the villain who had attacked all those beings received a punishment worse than death, and he ended up being imprisoned in the heavenly prison. And there, he knew true suffering. Beerus tells the story with eyes full of fury and his fists clenched. At that time, Goku, Vegeta, and Wolf hear that and feel what had happened to Beerus and his ancestors. Beerus says, "Now you see, I need to make things right with that guy. Those children, everyone on my planet who suffered, those who died, they will not have their deaths in vain." I understand, Sir Beerus. We're going to help you. And then Wolf says, "More, and of course, we will help you to destroy that guy, Beerus." Excited, Goku continues to say, "Yes, but of course, we will be the winners, and we will still help Mr. Beerus." Vegeta at this point butts in and says, "Hey, I don't remember agreeing to that, so don't include me in your plans. I just want a chance to prove how much better I am than you, Kakarot. And also that's not my problem. Our mission was to rescue Beerus and return home, but so far that hasn't happened." So Goku with a joking air says, "I already got it, Vegeta. You're scared after everything Beerus said, right? It's normal to be scared. After all, the guy Beerus is looking for is so strong that he almost eliminated all the Cats of Destruction." "Kakarot, you dare to say that to me? The warrior prince of all Saiyans would be afraid of someone as insignificant as that being?" Then Vegeta screams, "Hey, Mr. Beerus, where is he? I will defeat him now! And get this over with, fast, so that we can leave soon. And I showed Kakarot that I'm only the strongest." Planet Earth, Universe 7. Gohan and the others are curious to learn more about Beerus' father, one of the greatest warriors in the universe. It's night and the sky is full of stars. On the horizon it is possible to see grasses swaying with the wind, the leaves of the trees and the clouds moving slowly. Piccolo is on top of a tower watching the sky, taking advantage of the time of peace that had arrived. Gohan flies through the sky, seeing the cities below, anxious to find Videl again, but still, I have to talk with Mr. Piccolo. Seeing Gohan approach, Piccolo smiles. Gohan approaches and asks, "Mr. Piccolo, what are you doing here?" And he responds, "Haven't you seen, Gohan? The pure air is the peace that is on Earth now." Gohan looks around with shining eyes and says, "Of course. And everything's going great now." Piccolo continues, "It should always be like this. Don't you think so?" Gohan then gets curious and starts to say, "Yes, Mr. Piccolo, but where do you want to go with this?" It's nothing. It's just, wait. What did you want from me?" Gohan then forgets his curiosity for a bit and says, Beerus' father! No, he's on Earth!" Piccolo answers, "Yeah, I know." Gohan then continues, "He must be extremely powerful, isn't he?" Piccolo answers,
I get it. You want to fight against them, right?
No, that's not it. I just thought that we could train with them so that our powers would increase, and if someone shows up, we'd be ready to protect the Earth.
I don't think he wants to fight with you, Gohan.
At that moment, Gohan takes a deep breath and says, okay. Well, I'll go talk to him. A few days have passed. Meanwhile, in the Heavenly Prison, all candidates for the big event had been already selected. Everyone was in special places where they could train and wait for the tournament to start. Goku was happy to have some time to train, but unfortunately, the training was individual, so during training, Goku would have to train alone. Goku was wondering what the fights would be like and what types of opponents he would face, as he would be fighting incredibly powerful contestants. The fighters wouldn't be able to use ki power, so it would just be brute strength and hand-to-hand fighting. Vegeta and Beerus were also in individual rooms training Vegeta to push his body to the max by strengthening his muscles and perfecting his speed. Meanwhile, Beerus, he dedicates his efforts to training his mind. We see him sitting on his back with his head down, an eye fixed, breathing slowly. This is the little time left for the battles to begin. There will be about 3 battles per day, having an audience composed of beings from various universes in a separate pavilion where there will be countless prisoners. Hundreds of guards will be doing the security. It will be a grand event containing the strongest beings of all universes. Sometime later, the big moment arrives. Everyone is summoned so that they can find out who is going to fight who. They are called to a hall where there is a giant painting with the name of each participant and showing the order in which the fights will take place. The fight will start next day, and the first fight will be between an ancient god of destruction and a demon. Each participant would fight an opponent. The loser would be disqualified, and the winner would fight the victor of another battle. Goku was anxious and couldn't wait to get started. Goku's fight would be the 5th battle, Vegeta's would be the 9th, and Beerus would be the 12th. Wolf's fight would be his 3rd fight. Time passes slowly. Goku can't wait to start fighting. Back in Goku's containment cell, we see him and Wolf talking. Goku is very excited and asks Wolf, "Dude, do you know who your opponent's going to be?" Wolf replies,
No, I don't know who he is, but I've heard of him, and you already know who yours is, right?
"The name of the guy who will face me is very strange. It doesn't make much sense to me." Wolf asks,
But what is his name?
Goku responds, "I think it is BS. That's what was written there, but it does not matter. I hope it's a very powerful enemy." The two talk for a while longer and then decides to rest for the next day.
And finally, the day of the great tournament has arrived. Everyone is gathered and the first battle will begin. However, it ends quickly. After all, with just a few blows, the god of destruction managed to eliminate that demon. The fight would end when someone was knocked out or thrown off the platform. The second fight starts sometime later and is a combat extremely fierce. The two opponents fight exchanging punches and kicks until they can't take it anymore. However, the fight ends when one of them no longer has the strength to fight. And so the moment of the wolf fight, the narrator screams, extremely excited, "It's time to start!" One more battle that the participant presents themselves and the two enter the battle arena. The judge asks if they're ready. The two nod the head, answering yes. The judge then again shouts, "Start!" And the audience starts screaming inside the arena. We see Wolf running towards his opponents, throwing a punch that hits him in the face. Then Wolf delivers a punch from below, hitting the enemy's shin. At this moment, the enemy falls to the ground. Wolf then starts kicking the enemy. Wolf is extremely fast and strong. However, he cannot reach him in this way. The fight begins to complicate the Wolf, so he goes up to his rival and hits him in the face, throwing him out, thus winning his fight. For the time being, the fights are ended with the victory of Prophet. More fights happen in the following day. 3 warriors already had been eliminated, and 3 warriors already will advance for the next stage. The next day arrives quickly. We can see where 2 enemies extremely powerful will start their combat. Everyone observes. The audience that is ecstatic, and we feel an immense rivalry between the participants when the judge says, "Begin the battle!" An incredible exchange of blows begins. It is possible to hear the sound of the punches and kicks. However, in an instant, everything becomes silent. We have one more participant approved for the next step. Now it's Goku's turn to participate. Goku is eager to meet his opponent. When he hears his name being called to enter the arena, Goku goes down the stairs, walks down a corridor, and arrives at the place in front of him. He sees an enemy with a mask covering his face. Goku prepares, clenches his fists, and waits to start. A few moments later, the narrator is heard screaming. A few moments later, the narrator is heard screaming, "Start!" Goku goes towards his opponent, and the two begin to exchange punches and kicks. Goku's rival supports his hand on the ground and throws him up with his feet. Goku's enemy is very fast. He appears on the other side. After using his speed, he punches Goku, causing him to feel incredible pain. Goku turns and strikes him down, but hits the air and manages to locate that being that was extremely fast in addition to being incredibly strong. That person then appears on top of Goku, throwing a downward punch, hitting Goku's head, making him sink to the ground. Then the opponent starts kicking him. This way, Goku feels compelled to react more aggressively. At this point, Goku grabs the enemy's leg and sends him away. At that time, the enemy quickly gets up and starts throwing several punches until the two. Note here, outside the arena, the public does not stop screaming, asking Goku to remove his opponent's mask. Goku didn't seem to hear the crowd, but he was focused on the fight. At this moment, Goku throws his enemy to the side and kicks him, causing his opponents to roll on the ground. At that moment, that unknown warrior starts to get up and hits a punch in the face of Goku. At this point, Goku said, "What the hell are you? No matter how much I hit you, you always get up and fight back." The enemy then says, "You're Saiyan, isn't that really interesting? Let's make a deal. If you can land one more punch on me, I'll remove my mask. I'll show you who I really am." At the moment, Goku prepares and jumps towards him. His speed is impressive. Goku threw a punch, but that person dodged, ducking. Goku tries to hit him with his knee, but his opponent is too fast. Goku does not give up, and after trying to hit him with an elbow, his opponent turns quickly and throws a punch that hits him, causing him to fall to the ground. But his opponent quickly gets up and says, "Congratulations, you did it. Now I will reveal to you who I am." That enemy at that moment lifts his mask and removes it and throws it on the ground. He turns and looks at Goku, and Goku cannot believe what he sees in front of him. Then that person says, "I am also a Saiyan. Actually, my name is Bardock. It's been so long, my son." To be continued. How will Goku's fight against his father be? What is Bardock doing in this prison? Regardless of what it is more than important that you already expose it here in your comments so that we can enter into that crazy debate. Click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's more or less what we see in the next video. Goodbye!